Hey guys, it's Pac-Man Party, and today I'm going to be doing Rant on the Pac-Man World series. Going to be starting with World 1 first, since that was the first one in the series. Thoughts? I really liked that, honestly. In my opinion, they did a good job at reintroducing Pac-Man as a 3D platformer rather than just a simple arcade game. The graphics were really nice. Like, they're bright and colorful, and Pac-Man is very expressive, which I do really like. The soundtrack and sound effects were really good, honestly. The sound effects work real well for what they're trying to convey, and the music, really good. The gameplay was solid, honestly. Pac-Man felt nice to control, and the camera, not the best camera, but worked for a type of game like this, which I did like. Like, how do I put the gameplay, like, it's more like Crash Bandicoot per se, not like Mario 64 where it's like linear, but you still can do some exploration. The mechanics in the game are like, how do I put this, like, you know in Pac-Man, like, you just collect dots and stuff like that? You do that here, but they actually serve a better purpose. Like, you can use the pack dots to, like, throw out your enemies. And you can use, like, all the fruits that you gather to open, like, doors and access, like, the exits. And save your family members, which was really nice, honestly. Despite liking this game, honestly, there were some things that did bring down my enjoyment a bit, but didn't overall affect my overall experience. The bosses suck in this game. Like, they just suck so bad. The ending also kind of sucked as well. Like, how do I put this? It's meant to be more like it's hard to explain the ending, but it's meant to, usually, let's just say, like, it's meant to be all happy, but, Pac-Man is just not having it. And then, another thing was, like, even though I do like the level design in this game, how you find some of the family members and some of the levels in general were just really annoying. Like, how do I put this? They give you, like, no guides for them, and in order to complete the game to begin with, you have to know where they are, which is really annoying. But otherwise, despite it being, like, the first game in the series, they did a pretty good job, honestly. Like, they managed to make a simple game like Pac-Man to a competent 3D platform, which, yeah, is really nice. Next, going to be Pac-Man World Repacked, and it's a pretty solid remake, honestly. Like, it has a lot of the same things, like the level design and graphics and music, but it enhances them. And also fixed a lot of the problems that I had, like, it made the controller even better, it fixed the camera. And also, the biggest thing for me was the ending. It made that actually a happy ending, and the boss fights. I hated the boss fights so much in the original, but here, they made them so much better. Like, my second least favorite boss fight in the original, Chrome Keeper, they made that to my favorite here, and, like, that's how good they did, honestly. But it did do some things worse as well. Like, the music, it's quieter in this version for some odd reason, which I do not know why. Some detail in the levels are missing. Like, there's some, in, like, some of the factory levels, there were, like, some detail that showed, like, where it had to go. They took that away there. And also, some of the animations here are just not as charming, per se. Even the opening cutscene, like, that is completely different, and it's not as charming. Overall, like, it's a really good remake, but there's still merit to playing the original, which, yeah. Up next is going to be Pac-Man World 2 and Pac-Man Versus, which I'm just going to get Versus out of the way. It's okay. Fun side game, and can be fun with multiple people, but involving a link kill and everything was really annoying. Pac-Man World 2, on the other hand, very solid game, and so far my favorite in the series. Like, the platform is really fun. Like, it's still the same as the original, but they expand on it even more. Like, they fixed the rev roll, they made the butt bounds, like, even better to, like, move around and everything, which was really good. The level design in here is also really good. Like, they made the levels more open, but still linear, and still lots of exploration with the use of collectibles, which there's a new collectible in this game, tokens, which, how do I put this? They're used to unlock classic Pac-Man arcade games, which I do really like. Even though, like, I do have a lot of good things to say about this game, I do have some gripes, per se. Like, some of the levels here, a lot of them are really good, but there are some that are just kind of boring, like the submarine levels, and one that sucked, that being the lava level, which I hated that level so much. The boss fights, here's the thing, there's one good one and one okay one, but the other ones are just copy and pasted each other, and they're just not good at all. The game introduced fall damage, which was really annoying, because here's the thing, this game actually kind of requires you to jump out high ledges at times, which really annoying. And lastly, the game mixed up Blinky and Clyde, which, how can you even do that? It's literally stated in the original Pac-Man arcade game, which you can play without any tokens. Otherwise, though, really good sequel, and so far my favorite in the Pac-Man World series. Pac-Man World 3 is going to be the next game, and I know about this game reputation as being like the black sheep in the series, which I understand why, but I personally don't agree with it per se. Like, this game has a lot to offer, but also a lot that takes away from that experience. Like, here's the thing, the graphics, they look nice, honestly. Like, in fact, the most detailed in any Pac-Man World game so far. Really good graphics. The music was also really good. The gameplay, I'm just gonna be honest, the platforming was some of the best in the series so far. Like, I love just platforming that, and I also like the idea, like, how it introduced more puzzle solving, which I do really like. Also, the writing here in this game was really fun. Pac-Man talks in this game, and I know some people think it's weird, but he actually has talked before in the old Hanna-Barbera cartoon, so this isn't the first time. And they chose a really fitting voice for him, like he's happy-go-lucky, but isn't afraid to like throw a diss at someone every now and then, which, yeah, they handle Pac-Man really well. But now here are the things that do bring down the experience for me. The game introduces combat, which, okay, normally wouldn't be that bad, but no, like, they try to have like a full-fledged like combo system, and like, it's not good at all, it's just button mashing. The story's really weird, like, they try to like make it up all like aliens and stuff like that. A lot of the side characters, per se, here's the thing. They literally look like something out of Oddworld. Like, that's how out of place they look. Even the main villain, like Erwin, he's not that good of a villain. The boss fights, I can't really say much because there's only 2 boss fights in the entire game, which, why? They weren't bad, but still, I just wanted more. But otherwise, like, I understand, like, why this is considered to be the black sheep of the series. But again, like, this thing has a lot to offer, honestly. Like, a really good soundtrack, some of the best platforming in the series, some good puzzle solving, some amazing writing. But literally, just because of the combat and just how bad the story, like, but here's the thing, the combat is present in every level, which doesn't sound that bad per se, but they have you do it over and over again. Like, primarily your platform, but they're gonna stop you every now and then just to make you do combat, which, yeah, it sucked. But otherwise, like, yeah, I generally don't think this game deserves to be as hated as it should be, but I still agree, like, why people generally consider this to be the worst in the series. Personally, I don't, and I'll get to what I think would be the worst in the series in a bit, but up next is gonna be Miss Pac-Man Maze Madness, and for this game, really good, honestly. It's a side game in the Pac-Man World series, so that's the reason I'm counting it, but here's the thing. Really good attempt at reimagining the original Pac-Man format as an adventure game. Like, here's the thing, the graphics were really nice still, the music, easily the best soundtrack in the series in my opinion, and the gameplay was solid. It's a grid-based adventure game, and you control Miss Pac-Man. You go around collecting dots and everything, and also fruit, and also doing other challenges that are like, complete the levels. Really smartly designed, and the controls also to complement that, the game felt amazing to control. And there's also a lot of variety, because here's the thing, a lot of levels are different themes, and yeah, they did not feel the same playing them again, which was really nice. The boss fights, there's also boss fights in this game, and they're also really smartly designed, which I do really like. Even the enemies, there's a lot of variety, and some do take advantage of the level design, which, again, really good. Even though there's a lot that I do like about this game, there were some things that did bog it down for me a bit. Like, for one, the mini games and the multiplayer mode kind of sucked. Like, the mini games, except for like the boat one, that one's actually kind of fun. They just sucked, and they were so annoying. Another thing is that, like, here's the thing, this game can be beyond tedious at times, because here's the thing, you have to complete the game halfway through just before you're able to 100% some of the levels, because they'll block you off, and you require a certain item, which you get after the first boss fight, which, really annoying, how to redo everything again, just so you can complete the game normally. Like, that I hated so much. But otherwise, besides that, like, yeah, the game was really fun, honestly. Like, really well-designed game, and I would love to see another attempt like this. Time for the last game, that being Pac-Man World Rally, and in my opinion, the worst one in the series. Like, it isn't bad, it's just simply okay, but still, like, a lot of things just brought down my enjoyment. Like, the graphics look nice still, like, not as detailed as like 2 or 3, but still really nice and really expressive. The soundtrack was also really good. Not as good as something like Maze Madness or World 3, but still really good. And I like a lot of the ideas that I had. Like, I like some of the items, like some of the items like the snowman and how you're able to eat pet dogs. And the more you eat, you're able to like fill this little meter that allows you to turn into like a giant Pac-Man, which can eat the other players, which I do really like. And how you're able to collect fruit in the game, and those fruits open up like new passages in the levels, which I do really like. But here's the reason why I dislike this game. Primarily, the control. The control in this game sucked. Like, how do I put this? Like, you're able to like drive, but you're not really able to turn well, and there's no drift. And some of the levels require the drift, which is a nightmare to do. You're able to jump, but barely remedies the situation. Everything else is just kind of bland, honestly. Like, nothing really screamed Pac-Man per se, and especially the items, like, really bland. The battle modes, almost all of them are copy and pasted, which they're okay, but still, like, really, you gotta think of stuff more original. And here's the thing, a lot of the really detailed items that look literally something like that should have been in Pac-Man Racing game are in that battle mode only, which some of them literally function as they do in the standard races, which why could we not get on those items in the standard races? Like, that could have, like, helped save this game a little bit in detail. But otherwise, like, yeah, I didn't really like this game. Like, it's okay, and there are things that I do like about it, like the ideas, but I would rather play something like Mario Kart. It isn't bad, but still, like, yeah. But overall, like, that's all my thoughts on the Pac-Man Road series. Like, I really like the series, honestly. Like, even like some of the more, like, forgettable games, or like the ones that I consider to be a black sheep, I still had a lot of fun with them, and yeah, I recommend all these games, honestly. Hope everyone has a nice day.